एक्चुअली व्हाट्सएप पे है, उनको जूम पे जाना
हाँ
चाहिए।
मैं जूम पर ऑलरेडी हूँ। गुरुवे गौर चंद्र राधिका तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद भक्ताय नमो नमः। आ
तो मैं
जाएगा।
आता।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरुवे गौर चंद्र।
तो ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग चैप्टर आएगा। वो तो बसंत पंचमी।
हाँ दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बसंत पंचमी, है ना। बसंत पंचमी इज लाइक द सीजन out of so many seasons, 6 seasons we have.
यस प्रभु।
Mm.
तो
We are still
एक्चुअली
हाँ बोलो।
दिस इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी एक्चुअली इम्पोर्टेंट सीजन एज वेल, बिकॉज यहाँ पे वसंत रास भी हुआ था और श्री बलराम रास भी हुआ था एक्चुअली।
हाँ उसके अलावा एक्चुअली चैत्र पूर्णिमा को बलराम जी का रास तो हुआ था। चैत्र पूर्णिमा में रास लीला भी हुई थी, और ये 40 डेज का जो पीरियड होता है बसंत पंचमी का, है ना, उसका
यस
फर्स्ट डे बसंत पंचमी होती है। उसके बाद 40 डेज का पीरियड जो होता है वो होली होती है ब्रज के अंदर। तो एक्चुअली में यू विल गेट टू नो सो मेनी थिंग्स अबाउट बसंत पंचमी, है ना।
यस
सो
प्रभु।
लेट्स स्टार्ट। So Basant Panchami is the first day of the Basant or spring season. Basant Panchami and the spring season have their own special importance, and especially Hindu people celebrate this with great respect. On this day, we pick up the mustard flowers, barley and wheat and offer them to our favorite deities. From today, taking drums, kartal and a different kind of instruments, we play Vasant Rag, especially melodies for the spiritual spring season and the festival of Holi begin. And there will be so many songs and kirtans, and all are related to Sri Radha and Krishna. In previous times, this was done even more, but now society has changed somewhat. So still, there is a great enthusiasm for this festival. This time of year, in the trees, creepers, animals, birds of in any conscious entity, ras seems to increase. In the mango tree, flowers, birds will certainly appear. In the grooves of mango trees, cuckoo will eat these birds and start making cuckoo sounds. The tree and the creepers will shed their old leaves and change and be newly decorated with the new soft red leaves in it, as if they have come to participate in Krishna Vasant Ras. And with their new decoration, they are encouraging him. All of the nature at once change, such is the spring season. Also in Braj, from the very day Krishna and the gopis begin Vasant Ras, which is one Ras called Sharadiya or Autumn Ras, another called Vasanti Ras. On this day in Bengal, there is a worship of the goddess Saraswati. Bengal is mainly a province of Shaktas, those who worship Shakti potency. From the potency of Radhika comes Saraswati and Durga, and according to our line of thought, there is no special difference between Saraswati and Durga. With the great decoration, the Bengali worship Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. We worship Shuddha Saraswati, the dear potency of Bhagwan, who makes the jivas move in the direction of Bhagwan. There is also Vimalananda Saraswati, who is the servant of Shuddha Saraswati and another form of her. Vimala means pure. She who is pure form gives great pleasure. Anand to Krishna is known as Vimalananda Saraswati. The best of knowledge throughout the entire universe and the people of the world serves her. Because Shuddha Saraswati is the root cause of the good opportunity to hear pure Hari Katha. First of all, we should offer pranam to her, and then we make an efforts to enter into everything related to Vasant Ras. Krishna has different rasas at different times. Among them, Shardiya Ras and Vasanti Ras have their own special importance. To give great pleasure to all of the Nitya Siddha gopis and Sadhana Siddha gopis, Krishna comes in Shardiya Rasa. No activity or pastime of Krishna is done for his own pleasure, whereas any activity that we do, even up to serving the deities, is done for our own pleasure. We are serving the Guru for what? To get some future pleasure from it. So we will attain something. देख रहा है कितना subtle है. We may
Yes,
be performing bhajan, but in doing that, the idea of giving pleasure to Krishna is secondary. I like to chant, that's why I'll chant. I like to cook nicely, so I will cook. But I'm not thinking what Krishna wants and what Krishna likes. So it should be the prime consideration. But in the conditioned state, we are serving merely for our own peace of mind. That which we do for ourselves is not bhakti. Gradually, when what we do becomes solely for the pleasure of Krishna and his associates, then only it will be bhakti. And it must be purely for Krishna, for Radha, for the associates, and then it will be Shuddha Bhakti, unalloyed devotion. So Krishna is himself the crown jewel of those who are Atmanam and Aptakam. He has no unfulfilled desires. All of his desires are satisfied. So he doesn't need to take anything from anyone to become complete. In living entities, we find this query of incompleteness in our happiness, knowledge, renunciation, or other or whatever. We are not complete. By taking from Krishna or taking from other people, we want to become complete. But Krishna is Atmaram Aptakam. He needs nothing to enjoy, but upon seeing the desire of his devotees, he desires to enjoy his desire, his devotees, the desire to enjoy arises within him. Bhagwan apita ratri sharadophat dot phula malikaha Vikshaya Rantum Manasa Chakre Yoga Mayam Upashitaha. Bhagwan Shri Krishna, witnessing the arrival of those autumn nights, scented with the blossoming jasmine flowers, desired to enjoy loving affairs, and for this pleasure, he employed his Yoga Maya potency. Bhavan is up to calm, but still there is some desires in his heart because he is Rasika and also Raso Vaisa, the emporium of Rasa. There is also desire in the heart of the gopis to taste that Rasa, although Krishna is Atmaram and Aptakam today. He will be drawn in Rasa because within the gopis is the desire that Krishna will be pleased. For this purpose, they worship the goddess Katyayani, and 1 year before, during the month of the Kartika, she gave them a boon. Now their hearts are eager for the fulfillment of that boon. हाँ बोलो ध्रुव.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. This actually amazes me. How Shukadeva Goswami was able to see the pastimes and the leelas of the Lord, and at the same time, he's able to see the opulence and the Bhagavan form of Krishna. Okay, he's tasting the mood of Vrajavasis while also understanding that he is a Bhagavan. While Vrajavasis, like their the potency or the opulence of Krishna as Bhagavan is hidden by the love of Vrajavasis. But Shukdev
No,
Goswami was
but
able.
actually, Sukdev Goswami could see because Sukdev Goswami is a Shaktavish avatar of Krishna. But like he is seeing it. But Krishna is not able to see himself as a Lord. Krishna is not able to see because of the influence of Yogamaya.
Hmm.
Because if Krishna will get to know that he's the Lord, or he will understand that he's the Lord, है ना? Automatically it would be a big goof up in Madhurya Rasa, or is dealing with the devotees, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
All the Aishwaryas of Krishna's only appeared when it was needed, and it says, the Acharya says that all the pastimes, you know, killing the animal, the killing the demons, or you know, so many leelas were actually performed by Vasudev Krishna, not Yashodananda Krishna. Yashodananda Krishna is the one who actually is participating in the Ras Leela. समझे?
Yes, Prabhu.
The description of Sharadiya Rasa has been given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is very beautiful and pleasing to the heart. Vasanti Rasa has been described in Gita Govinda by Jagdev Goswami. One another topic of Rasa Acharya Rasa has been described by Prabodhana Saraswati in a small book of Sanskrit poetry named Ashcharya Ras Prabandha. ठीक है? What is the meaning of Ras? Mandali Vadya Nitya. When in an independent way, one hero and many different heroines come together and dance to instruments playing spiritual music, it is called rasa. The particular type of dancing has been described in the scriptures, and we do not see that this rasa is performed by any other incarnation of Bhagwan besides Krishna. We do not see that. You know? And they are able to do it because but have not so they were to speak of they were to speak of any other human being. If any human does this, it is called lust and considered degraded behavior. When those devotees who, for millions of births, have rejected worldly desires and pleasures and have performed bhajan with the sentiments of the gopis for the pleasure of Krishna, meets together in a group in an independent, free way, dancing to different instruments, playing scripture music. That is rasa. But the scriptures have accepted this in relation to Krishna only and rejected any possibility of it being related to anyone else. Krishna and the gopis are engaged in the rasa dance for each other's pleasure, and in this there is such an increase in the prema that you will not find it fully described in any scriptures. Therefore, Krishna himself, the crown jewel of all performers of pastimes, she has said, upon coming together for this rasa dance, what has happened within my heart? In my heart, what are the feelings and how are they arise? Just as milk is heated and the boil over, and waves within Krishna's heart are such that he himself is unable to describe them, and it is the same for the gopis also, then you have forgotten your own body. What can you describe? Therefore, a few elevated personalities, such as Vyasadeva in a trance of meditation, saw this phenomenon from the position of neutrality. Otherwise, they would have become emotionally involved in it and become bewildered. Also, the gopis also bewildered. Krishna was bewildered, and unless one has seen it from an aloof position, one would not be able to describe it. Therefore, Vyasa was able to describe a little of it. The goddess Katyayani had given the gopis a boon, and on the day of Sharadiya Purnima, Krishna saw the moon in a special way. And in autumn season, when the moon is full, there are no clouds, smoke, or dust in the sky, and all become clear. The season itself is very beautiful. It is not too hot, not too cold, and by the influence of the moon, all kinds of flowers bloom. In the early evening, the sun sets, and the full moon casts red rays on his dear one, the personification of the eastern direction. Our commentators have said that when Krishna saw the moon, he remembered, oh, yes, we are members of the Chandra Moon dynasty, and the original head of the Chandra dynasty is this very Chandra whom I see now. Tonight, the indication has arisen in my heart that the eastern direction is very the wife of Surya, the sun. I am similarly applying the colors to the face of the gopis, meaning that I am enjoying amorous pastime with them, and in this there is no fault, especially since I am actually the husband of the entire world. Seeing the moon, this inspiration arose in him. At that time, he remembered that a boon had been given to the gopis who had been performing the austerities for the pleasure of, for the meaning of birth, and it was Purnima, the full moon and the last day of the moon, the month of Puja. They were new gopis, young girls, and they gave invitation to Radhika, Vishakha, Lalita, and all the gopis of Brajmandal. Today, please come and join us in our puja. So, on that day, when their worship was to be completed, Radhika, Vishakha, Lalita joined them. But they didn't participate in the worship. Why? Because they had already been married. So for them, there was no necessity of saying, we desire to have the son of Nand as our husband. समझ में आया? But all
Yes,
of
Prabhu.
them were present there. And on that very day, Krishna took their clothes and gave them all a boon that he thought, today I will fulfill the desire of their heart. He played his flute when all of the gopis came there, and he said, I have already had darshan of all of you. So now please return home. Your duty is to serve your husband. And the gopis replied, who is this world can be a guru like you? You are our Gurudev. There is no instruction as beautiful as that which you have given to us, telling us to serve our husbands. There is no greater instruction than this. So then you are our Guru. Previously, we were offering puja to Katyayani, and now we have attained your service. So you are our Gurudev. Therefore, accept the puja we offered before. And if you don't, then you're not fulfilling your words. And the reaction to committing aparadh will come upon you. भगवद गीता में कहता है ये था माम प्रपद्यन्ते ताम तदेव भजाम्य हम. So as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. And these are your words. Please fulfill the desire of your worship, our worship. To you, we have only brought ourselves. We have nothing more to offer you. So please be happy. Before in our puja, we offered dry fruits, rock candies, and sweets, or whatever we had. We offered to Katyayani in the puja, but in reality, it was all meant for you. Please accept it, otherwise, you are not fulfilling your words. So, you see, certain things we have to understand that Katyayani Vrata is not for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because we, anyways, don't want Krishna to get married to us, because our goal is something else. Our goal that is that we are already married to certain person. When we get the revelation of our Sarupa, this also gets revealed to us. Very important point, very deep point to understand. इसीलिए none of our acharyas ever kept Katyayani Vrat. It's not mentioned in any of the books. You know, gopis they did, but not the Lalita or Vishakha or Radharani. They never did it. Second very beautiful, yes, Jajadish Imrat. Second very beautiful point, otherwise I'll forget. That it is saying that, we were actually offering different articles, dry fruits, rock candy, and sweets to Katyayani, but they were all meant for you. So no matter if suppose by any chance we happen to worship any demigod or anybody whosoever is the associate of the Lord, our consciousness should always be this only, that we are actually giving it to Krishna only. Like one time when one time on that was Ganesh Chaturthi. So I had a very beautiful picture of Vigraha of Ganapati. So I offered some laddus with the tulsi leaf on it. And then actually I knew what I did, but I clicked the photograph, happy Ganpati Ganesh Chaturthi. So friend of mine, he posted He just sent me a message. How can you offer Tulsi to Ganapati? I said, well, this is your understanding. I had not offered that Tulsi to Ganapati. I had offered the Tulsi to Narasimhadev. Because Narasimhadev has empowered Ganapati to protect. So that is the reason that Mahaprasad was given to actually Ganapati. Oh, now I understood. So every time, whenever any activity is performed to get the love of Krishna, is actually, we don't have to actually complicate our life that way. We don't have to go to Katyayani Devi or anybody. Anybody. We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we just can go and pray to them. We don't have to do the complete worship for them. You know. Ha, Jai Jagdish Prabhu, what was your question?
Prabhu, all good answered. It is all automatically answered. I
No, no,
was
no.
just, yes, my question was Prabhu कि जो कात्यायनी व्रत होता है, is it during Kartik or after Kartik?
It's after Kartik Prabhu.
After Kartik, right? Prabhu,
Yes.
please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I read this somewhere or heard it, but Indra Prabhu used to keep some vrat after Kartik, right?
Indra Prabhu?
Indra Prabhu?
Indra Prabhu.
Indra Prabhu, yes.
Bro, Ananda Prabhu had his own bhav.
Okay, 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 Prabhu.
I didn't know about all that much.
Okay,
Right?
okay, Prabhu.
I knew that he was going to Katyayani temple, which is okay, which we also go at least once in a month, in the month of Kartik. But actually, this all happened from because of the Govardhan Leela. Because in Govardhan Leela, when they all saw Krishna, they all fell in love with Krishna, they all wanted to get married to Krishna, and that's why they kept the fast.
Hmm.
Right after the Kartik was over, because Govardhan Puja happened on Pratipada. Then Bhrata Dvitya. Then next day everybody went back home. Then 10 days it rained so bad. 7 days. Right? So Krishna lifted Govardhan from Chaturthi. Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashmi. Some people they say that Krishna lifted Govardhan actually from Saptami because actually Tritiya they all went back home. Chaturthi everything was normal, and then they Panchami was also normal. Shashti or Saptami Indra started the rain. So till Chaturdashi, Chaturdashi day, Indra came and apologized. I don't know where I've heard this, but I've heard it for sure. This is for sure it's true that this particular thing happened. Anyway, so every gopi were prepared, and when the Katyayani month came, after I think I'm absolutely right here. Bhrata Dvitya was there, and Tritya Tithi, everybody went home. Chaturthi onwards, it started raining. Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, and Dashmi. 7 days there was like heavy rain. And then Indra came and he apologized. And normally in Braj, so many people they start their month from Ekadashi or Dwadashi. Okay, some people they start from Purnima, some people they do Amavasya Ant. So, but anyway, so then the gopis they prepared themselves and then they started following from Dwadashi or something, or maybe I don't know, from the Purnima only to next Katyayani Purnima. And the Katyayani Purnima, Krishna stole the dresses of all the gopis. Huh? Tell me, Dhruv.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I'm confused because Govardhan Puja is after Diwali, right? After
Yeah,
Chaturdashi.
Diwali is Amavasya.
Yes, Prabhu.
Next day is Pratipada, that is Govardhan Puja.
Yes, Prabhu.
And next day
So
is
after,
Bhadra Dvitya, Bhaiya Dooj.
yes, Prabhu.
And
So
Tritiya,
Prabhu, the Govardhan Puja actually happened on the first day, and then Indra got
next day
angry
of
and
Diwali. हाँ
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
प्रतिपदा
Okay.
गोवर्धन लीला हैपन ऑन प्रतिपदा
Okay.
yes, Prabhu.
ठीक है
Yes.
So the
Thank you.
so it must have rained 7 days from Pratipada, right?
No, it rained from
Chaturthi?
Chaturthi.
Okay.
Kyunki I'll tell you Govardhan Lila someday. I've never spoken the Govardhan
Please,
Lila.
Prabhu, please.
Well, so I'll tell you the Govardhan Lila, entire insights of Govardhan Lila.
Please.
In that, it is mentioned that all the Brajvasis, they have decided to stay back after Govardhan Puja. And they all slept at the Govardhan only. And then he said they all got up, and then, there was an exchange between brothers and sisters. So Kundalata is a sister of, actually, she's the wife of one of the cousins of Krishna, but she is very close to Krishna. And she does Tika to Krishna on Bhai Dooj. And she is in the party, she is in the group of Radharani. So when she does that, when she comes to do tilak for Krishna, that time Krishna is looking at Radharani. And when Radharani is going and doing that to Sridham, tilak, that time Krishna is also there and looking at Radharani. So this is the exchange. And then they decided to stay Dvitiya also day. And from Tritiya onwards, it started raining. Tritiya, all they went back home. And Chaturthi onwards, it started raining. Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashmi, Navami, and Dashmi. 7 days. It rained like anything. Hadil, you had another question?
No, Prabhu, that was it. Like I didn't know
Prabhu,
this pastime.
yes, Prabhu, and Prabhu, I was always wondering because every time we would discuss about Govardhan, every time a Kartik month would come, mostly the speaker would say that Brajvasis says this, Brajvasis says this. So when I was hearing, I'm like, we need to know from Brajvasi what what they have heard, because every time I don't know if Dilalit Prabhu, I think he also agrees, because every time we come around Kartik month, people would start describing Govardhan Leela and all, and most of the people who give discourse, they would say that there is this contradiction, Brajvasi believes this. So we always wanted to hear Govardhan Lila from
No,
Brajvasi. So
we'll see. We'll speak over the these days.
yes.
So
Okay.
Krishna could not defeat them with words. In his description of the Ashcharya Rasa, Vivadana Saraswati has given this thing a little differently. He has written that on that day Krishna called through the flute, Radhe Radhe, and each of the Gopi thought he is calling my name. Jago Kalam Vam Disham Manoharam. So yeah, the meaning of this very beautiful Jago means played, and Manoharam means he who steals the heart. So he played his flute in such a way as to steal the attention of the whole world, and all the gopis become automatically attracted. Krishna, by his beauty, by his qualities, and by his affection, by his rasa, and by the other specialities of his style, stole the heart of all living entities. He sent a messenger from house to house. How did he send it? By his lips, through the medium of his flute. All the rasa of his heart was expressed in his calling of the gopis. The wood of the flute, bamboo, is generally dry, but he injected it with rasa. He gave a little blow into the flute, and from it came a very peculiar vibration, the likes of which he could not have made with his mouth alone. Emerging from the flute, the vibration saw that in the entire universe there was no fit acceptable for it, acceptable, a spectacle for it, so it is crossed over the entire material universe, Brahman. Going up from there, it has also crossed Vaikuntha, even crossed Mathura and Dwarka, entering Vraja. The sweet vibrations turned and bewildered everyone and put them to sleep. older ladies of Braja become unconscious and knew nothing of what was happening. The Sakhas also remained sleeping. Then, for making the gopis give themselves to Krishna, that vibration arrived at their ear and saw the door was open. Coming across an open door, it immediately entered through the medium of their ears and came to the most valuable of all things, their heart. The patience of the heart, the fear and shyness towards Guru, whatever was there, is plundered everything. And only when it was leaving did the gopis came to know of it and say, where have our heart gone? They saw that a thief had come and is going away there where in the direction from which that vibration came. So they ran there. When I joined the mission, there was an older brahmachari who would sit in the corner and chant japa, facing the wall so that nothing would distract him. Every day he would chant 1 lakh of Harinam. One day while he was sitting quietly and chanting, he heard a noise. And not fully of his external senses, he looked to one side and saw a thief escaping from a money box. As he got up to pursue the thief, his dhoti began to fall down. So he clutched it with one hand, and with the other hand, he was still taking Harinam. He didn't leave his Harinam. In this very state, with one hand on his chanting beads, the other hand holding up the dhoti, yelling, thief, thief, he ran after him. Then his foot got caught up in the dhoti and he almost fell. At that time, he was not completely to his external senses, so how could he catch the thief? He couldn't catch him, but he ran after him in that condition anyway. Finally, more people came and the thief was caught. At that time, when Krishna played the flute, the gopis were in a similar condition. It was early morning evening. One gopi was serving her husband, another was milking a cow, another was cooling milk by pouring it from one vessel to another was decorating herself, the other were doing her other things. So when the thief comes, if there is a delay of even one moment, it won't be possible to catch him. Therefore, the gopis immediately ran after him. Some had applied makeup to only one eye. The remainder was in their hand as they left. Another one in a bewildered state dressed themselves in a disorderly fashion, and as they went, their clothes were dragging on the ground. Not fully externally aware, they arrived in the arena of Rasa and called Sharadiya Rasa. During that Ras, Krishna's almost gopis exhibited some jealous anger. Krishna was thinking, I am enjoying with so many gopis, no one is fortunate as me. But this gopi thought, all are equal to me. He told me that I was the dearest to him, and here I see that he is the lad. He is dancing and singing with everyone, and therefore she exhibits man, jealous anger. And then Krishna grabbed her and disappeared on the path. And the gopis began searching, and they saw a pair of footprints, and along with them was the footprint of some Kishori. One group of Gopi understood whose footprints was that, and but the Sakhis in the mood of Chandravali didn't understand who it was. Anyadito nunam Bhagwan Harir Ishwaraha Yanno Iha Ya Govindaha Prito Yamanayad Raha. If the gopis thought suddenly this particular gopi was worshipped Sri Govinda the best, therefore he has left us, taken only her with him. Those who were servant of the gopis recognized her footprint and were very, very happy. Today the Lord has taken our Sakhi and vanished. As they went further and further, the gopis felt increasing ananda, but the other were feeling separation. You see that her footprints stop here. Where has she gone? Definitely the gopi had become tired, and therefore he lifted her up and carried her on his shoulders. When they went a little further ahead, she The gopi noticed a place on the ground where someone had been sitting, and near it, some flowers had fallen. There were also some toe prints on the ground. It seems that here Krishna has stood on his toes to pick up the flower. So here he has certainly decorated her with them. They went a little further ahead and saw that very Sakhi alone and lamenting. And some said, "Oh, it was this Sakhi Krishna had taken with him." Seeing her crying and crying, the other gopis felt some sympathy for her. Leaving her behind, Krishna had gone on his way. Otherwise, they would have been jealous of her. So Krishna actually, performed the entire Ras Leela not to only satisfy the Munishari gopis and the gopis who were sadhana siddh, kripa siddh, and this and that. It was okay. But the main reason behind performing the Ras Leela was actually to establish the Pradhanta of Srimati Radhika. There are so many beautiful things described here in the chapter 29 and 32 of the canto, 30th canto. In the end, they again met Krishna. He appeared before them, a little ashamed, said, "Sakhi, I'm certainly very grateful to you." They put a question about loving reciprocation to him, and his answer was very beautiful. Here we complete our summary of Sharadiya Rasa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha Ramananda, Swarup Damodar, and Srivas Pandit put together at the Rath Yatra festival. It was uh, the day of Hira Panchami. At that time, in drama that was being enacted for the Lord's pleasure, Shiva saw that the maid servant of Lakshmi Devi had arrested the gopis and were harassing them. As a form of taxation, they were snatching their ornaments and punishing them. Very happily, they were playing horns, laughing, and said, "Hey, cowherd, you work only with milk, and you want to be equal to Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune. Today, she will teach you a good lesson." They were talking some of the gopis, they were taking some of the gopis' clothing and beating them with that and taking some taxation from them. Seeing all this, Srivas Pandit was very pleased and said, "Just see what is there in Vrindavan. The garlands there are composed mainly of gunja flowers. Where would they get good quality ornaments? All they have are these ornaments made of flowers, and they are wearing these things. Their opulence is petty in comparison to the massive opulence of Lakshmi." Then Swarup Daman said, "What is the nature of the gopi? Ankle bracelets? They are more valuable than the diamonds on Lakshmi Devi's head. Only these simple flowers are necessary for them to attract Sri Krishna. Since nothing else is necessary, their opulence is to the highest." In this way, he described the greatness of the gopis. Babu said, "He is correct. I agree that the prema of the gopi is the highest of all. It is even higher than that of Lakshmi. And amongst all the gopis, who is the best?" So Damodar replied, "Radhika. Radhika's prema is the most advanced of all." How? In the Ras Leela, Krishna left all other and vanished, taking only her. And he took her in a deceptive way. Why with deception? Because he was afraid of the other gopis. If he had taken her in front of everyone, then perhaps Chandramali and the other would have become jealous of Radhika's love. And Mahamud, we don't want to hear about him stealing her. Because the name of the particular gopi that he took is not mentioned in Bhagavatam. It could have been Chandramali or other gopi. Please tell us how Krishna directly considered Radharani only to be the best. Here we turn to Jayadev Goswami's description of Vasanti Ras. My heart is palpitating, for I desire to write such a thing, which is this life I have not written before, and which is not mentioned anywhere. Then Krishna will fall at the feet of Radhika. We know it. We know it well, but Krishna is the supreme controller and the cause of all causes and the source of all other incarnation, that he falls at the feet of his own potency, who is the form of his maid servants. I don't know if there is proper, but my heart is saying that without Krishna's putting his head at her feet, she will not be appeased. I don't know if I am able to write it. Then goes on to describe that on the plain of Giriraj Govardhan at Chandra Sarovar, Chandra remained throughout the whole of one of Brahma's night. What is the duration of Brahma's night? Million of yugas. In order to witness the Rasa Leela, he stayed there. So it is called Chandra Sarovar. In the spring season, all of the fruits and flowers in Vrindavan come out, and she cuckoo starts her cuckoo sound. The peacock starts his keka sound. And it is if the pigeons are playing the conch shell, making their cuckoo sounds, they are all making their own sounds, and collectively it sounds as if they are playing a Chennai. In this way, all the birds and the animals become happy, and there is no one who is not dancing. Forming group, Krishna and the gopis starts dancing. All young unmarried girls are present there, and they had been waiting for 1 year. For dancing with Krishna, for meeting Krishna for a whole year, fire of separation had been burning inside them, not for themselves, not for lust, but for mitigating this separation. For really becoming immersed in Krishna's rasa. Sometimes we have separation from each other. As a friend, we sometimes miss each other. I mean, yeah, yeah, yaar, if you would have come, we would have gone to have pizza together. I feel such separation from my friends. Sometimes I have Dhir Lalit and like Jay who I never met before. But Dhir Lalit, when he comes, I really feel good. I really felt good when he came. I see Anand Roop. And I have a friend Brij Sundar, and then I have a friend like Lal Govind. Then I have a friend. I have some friends. Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya. So many friends. I have. I really Vineet. Vineet is like Gulli, my childhood friend. He's like I really when I go to Delhi, I just want him to come and meet and sit with me. He'll come to me and like he will just talk nonsense or whatever. But like when he's around, I feel pleasure. You know why? Because childhood friendship, no. So it's not always the lust. It's not always the lust. Sometimes it is like the separation in the heart. For really becoming immersed in Krishna's rasa, one must enter into the poetry composed by Radha Goswami. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his heart full of rasa, at night would tell Swarup Damodar, please recite Govind Govind for me. Hearing it, immediately his pleasure would increase. Swarup Damodar would precisely what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired to hear. Sometimes it was the poetry of Jayadev, sometimes Chandidas, sometimes Vidyapati, sometimes he would read verses from the 5 chapters describing the Rasa dance of Srimad Bhagavatam. The gopis were clapping their hands as if they were kartalas, and they played drums, veena and sitar. It was divinely beautiful as the gopis played one rag after another. There are some melodies in which there is no rasa. So they played only the ragas that increases the rasa. Krishna sang in a very high pitch and different melodies. The gopis then sang one song in a higher pitch than Krishna. He wanted to sing higher, but Krishna couldn't, and he could only say, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Krishna was dancing and with Srimati Radhika. And he danced with such speed and dexterity that he himself was astonished. And again he chanted, Sadhu, Sadhu. With one gopi, Krishna was holding one hand, the other one he was dancing by jumping up and down, another he was embracing, another he was just kissing on the hand. Sometimes with his eyes half open in the great prema, he would look in the direction of a particular gopi and he would follow a certain rhythm of racing behind one gopi after another, and this is how Vasanti Raj is described. In a fraction of a second, As short as the blink of the eyes, thousands of more gopis arrived and started dancing. Radhika saw at that time Krishna's topmost, supremely powerful potency was not working. Param Aishwarya Shakti. So he had stopped. Here he kept the cause behind pastime, Yogamaya separate from him. And he placed all of these potencies far away by telling them, at this time you will not do anything. For now, you just sit quietly and watch. In this pastime of Krishna, everything was forgotten. Here, because Aishwarya was not manifest, Krishna did not know what I am Bhagwan, that I am Bhagwan. And the gopis didn't know that either. We are Ishwari. We are the root of Yogamaya. All was forgotten. And after a little while, Radhika saw Krishna is a big cheater and he is cheating me. He seems to be dancing only with me, but actually he's dancing with everyone. Only because of his speed and dexterity does it seems that he is alone with me. Then Srimati Radhika exhibited some man, jealous, anger, and if we feel this emotion, there is some selfishness in it. But in the heart of the devotees, there is no selfishness. In her heart, there is never any envy, but even if there is some, it is only a transformation of prema and mahabhav. Don't consider this to be deformation, but rather an aspect of her variousness, her speciality. This milk, add some sugar, and it becomes sweet. Mix a little kevada, then little camphor, other things, and it becomes more and more sweet and tasteful. Like this, Radhika has her own uniqueness, and for making Krishna even happier, she exhibited some man. She left the Ras dance and went to Kunja. But then what happened? Upon arriving there, she felt a remorse and thought, why did I leave Krishna's association? He didn't even leave me. I left him. If there is any unfortunate woman, it is me. There is no one as unfortunate as me. Meanwhile, Krishna met one Sakhi and requested her, please go to Radha and tell her that Krishna is saying, I'm very unhappy for you. In the future, I will never do such a thing as I did again, and you will always be happy. Please forgive me. So Sakhi went to Radhika and seeing her condition said, why are you not behaving like this? Why are you behaving like this? Leaving Krishna, you come here. He tried to please you, but you wouldn't accept it. So why are you upset? Just then Lalita appeared there, said Krishna is a liar. Don't trust him. Don't ever reveal your simplicity to him. Remain crooked. Otherwise, you won't be able to have straightforward dealing with him. He will never understand your value. So always remain crooked. The Sakhi tried in so many ways to pacify Radhika, but she would not appear. She would not be appeased. When Sakhi returned to Krishna and told him, he said, somewhat I must appease her. And then Krishna thought he would play a joke to appease her, pretending to be very unhappy. His face became withered and saying, now I'm going. He left there and hid in a nearby kunja. Then some Sakhis followed behind his whispering, where is he going? Let us see. He entered a kunja and laid down among some large rocks, saying, seeing him lie down, the Sakhi returned to Srimati Radhika, Lalita Vishaka, and told them that he has gone to a nearby kunja. Being very unhappy and in pain from your separation, he was not able to go any further and he has fallen asleep. Then he said, where? The Sakhis then led Radhika and the others to the Kunja. They peered into the entrance of the Kunja and saw that his face was covered. They couldn't tell if he was crying, he's sleeping, or what he was doing. Then moving closer, they saw that he was sleeping. His eyes were closed and his face was a little covered. The gopis exchanged hand signal because at that time their supreme enemy, the flute, was hanging loosely in his hand. They thought that they should take it, and they did not consider for a moment that they might be entering a trap, but just that they should take it. Radhika said, yes, we should take it, but who will do it? Who will tie the bell around the cat's neck? Who will take the responsibility of snatching the flute from his hand? Friends, this is not a simple thing. His hand is like a snake. If someone approaches and try to take the flute, the snake will bite him, give its poison, and it will never leave him. Therefore, who will dare to try? All of them thought together and concluded that it would not be possible for anyone except Srimati Radhika. So she said, if all of you insist, then certainly I will try. Very, very slowly, just as the cat does, she crept closer, walking very slowly and stillly, smiling slightly and watching him. She went close, but what was Krishna doing? He had heard something they had discussed among themselves, and feeling that he should enjoy himself a little, he thought if Radha is to be appeased, there must be some direct conversation between us. But there has not been such an opportunity. Therefore, I will let the future fruit be taken, and then I will see how I can talk to Radha. I will ask each of them, where did you put my flute? And in the course of asking all of them, I will necessarily come to Radha, and then I will get the chance. I will be a moment of great, it will be a moment of great happiness. As Krishna allowed his hand to become slack, thinking him to be asleep, slowly Radha crept near to him and saw that he was apparently deeply asleep, and then someone is sleeping lightly, they can be easily awakened. But when someone is in deep sleep, you cannot easily awake them. Krishna appeared to be sleeping like that. Quickly, she snatched the flute from his hand, and the gopi ran from the kunja as they were all running, with their long hair swinging to and fro. Krishna opened his eyes and saying, Hurry, hurry, hey, where has my flute gone? And he ran outside the kunja and said to gopis, You have stolen my flute. He said to each gopi, Did you take it? Until he came to Radha. He replied, What will I do with this useless piece of bamboo? Yes, I took it. And I will burn it. Burn, मतलब, what will I do? ऐसे बोलती है. But then, I will burn it also. It is only one piece of bamboo. In our garden, we have thousands of sticks of bamboo. So, what is the big deal about only one piece of bamboo? You can come and cut thousands and take them. In this way, they were uh, mutually joking, but they didn't realize that Krishna was knowingly joking with them. Still, Radha was not appeased, although suddenly she desired to meet Krishna. He had already seen that sending a messenger would not do it. So what did he do next? He himself expanded into Shamli Sakhi. Assuming a very beautiful form, she approached the Gopi with a basket of flour in her hand, and in a sweet voice called out, By rendering service to someone, I will mitigate all of their distress and fatigue, and they will become very happy. At that time, Shrimati Radhika and the Sakhis were feeling fatigued and unhappy, seeing Shamali. Really, Radhika did not recognize this Sakhi as Krishna himself, and Lalita Vishaka and the other also did not recognize him. And when Krishna assumes another form, who will recognize him? Even when an ordinary actor changes dress, we cannot understand who is he. For this purpose, He employed Yogamaya, and therefore no one could recognize him. Shamli pleased Radhika by giving her a flower garland and emanates a special fragrance. Radhika thought, where has this fragrance come from? Whose fragrance is this? Knowing it to be related to Krishna, she was very pleased. Shamli began saying to Radhika, in this world there is no one who is as kind, who has as many good qualities, who shows respect to everyone, who is a great who is as grateful, who is expert in all the 64 arts as Krishna is. What to speak of just in Vrindavan, in the entire Brahman? Krishna is, you know, appreciating himself. Oh, so what to speak of, huh? So you have so many good qualities and you are so beautiful. So towards him, you should not commit any offense. Praising Krishna like this, and praising Radhika like this, Shamli proved that Krishna was not at fault and Radhika was fully appeased. And in this end of her ultimate happiness, the final weapon was in his hand. Having returned to his original form, he said to Radhika, in me, there is a fire of separation, and only the touch of your feet can cool it. Therefore, be merciful and decorate my head with your feet, because by doing so, you will also become happy. Being pleased, Radhika said, now agree to one thing. The flowers bracelet on my feet are broken. Please arrange them, and my hair plait has become loose. Please tie it. Seeing that he had followed her every order, she thought he had obeyed all of my orders very nicely. He will never go to another gopi. Come, let there be rasa. At that time, the Rasa Leela was performed at Chandra Sarovar, and this is how Vasanti Rasa is described in Govinda Govind. Although we do not have the qualification to engage in Shravan and Kirtan of this topic, in brief, we have tried to describe this rasa and what sentiments of love came in it. Testing this, just see how the condition of Mahaprabhu become. It was a wonderful thing, Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramanan who described it to him. I am only an ordinary person full of anarthas, but in that place where Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda are describing this, Krishna himself, full of Radha Bhav, will be there as a listener in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he receives so much of anand from it. Therefore, we will silently remember that Vasanti Rasa, and when one day genuine spiritual greed arise in our heart, we'll be able to directly serve this rasa. Whew!
Hari bol.
भाई बो ये तो भाई बहुत ही कर्रो टॉपिक था भाई कर्रो चैप्टर था कर्रो चैप्टर
Yes, Prabhu. Very, very great description, actually.
एग्जैक्टली
प्रभु उसमें जहाँ पे सखी मेंशन है, एक
हाँ
सखी जाती है कृष्णा के बिहाफ में एंड देन शी रिवर्ट्स बैक टू कृष्णा. दैट्स एक्चुअली अ मंजरी, राइट प्रभु? बिकॉज
दैट शामली नो
नो नो नो नो प्रभु, वो नहीं, जब राधा रानी मान करके जाती है अपने कुंज में, तो सेन कृष्णा सेंड्स वन सखी टू हर टू कन्विंस हर, बट शी इज
हाँ
नॉट
मुझे
कन्विंस्ड, शी रिवर्ट्स बैक, सो दैट्स अ मंजरी, राइट?
यस 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 यस
Because in the duties, because aduti is also a type of seva for manjari.
यस ऑफ कोर्स
But the manjaris are never said manjaris, they are said sakhis in Golok.
सहचरी पाल्यदासी बट नेवर मंजरीज
Yes. But they are being addressed as only sakhis only, right, Prabhu? Like अगर श्री कृष्णा और राधा रानी को किसी को भी बुलाना हो, so they would not call them palya dasis or anything. They would call
यू ओनली कॉल सकी
sakhi. Sakhi.
Radharani will always
But
call Sakhi. And he Sakhi, where are you going? Sakhi. Sakhi is always Sakhi. ठीक है?
yes, Prabhu.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
Yes.
सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
No,
नमः. You want to say something, Jai Jagdish?
no, Prabhu. Amazing class. I was just taking notes of some things which were very amazing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who actually that chapter is favorite of mine after Rath Yatra. There are so many deeper Siddhants revealed in
Hmm.
Charitamrita. The conversation between Mahaprabhu and
And
and Swarup
Sorry.
Damodar.
Yes. Even like we call ourselves Chandravamsi, right? But very nicely it is described in this chapter, like how Krishna is looking at Chandra and saying that on the Rasya. I think it was very at the very beginning when you were reading. Like we know that we are Chandravamsi, but it is very nicely described that why we are called Chandravamsi. Krishna is saying that uh, वो कुछ एक पूरा पैराग्राफ था. I think I made a note of it here. He's saying that the after the Katyayani Vrat, oh yes, we are members of the Chandra Moon dynasty and the original head of the Chandra. So we know it is there, but reading it kind of aligns it very well. So
Yeah. Krishna also reminds himself sometimes, you know.
This is Prabhu a nectarian book again. Like this is
yes,
it's a so beautiful book.
Yeah, one of my favorite books, Small books, very good for traveling.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. चलो राधे श्याम.
Radha Shyam, Prabhu.
धन्यवाद.